These are the documents that Smiley brought me. Better take them. John Ford? That idiot Smiley used the first name he thought of to falsify these documents. Knowing him, I should have checked them out before giving him the money. But apart from breaking his nose, there isn't much I could have done. I'll need to leave this state as soon as possible, and I definitely don't have time to redo the documents considering that I need a photograph for them to be useful. Jefferson Davis, Alexander Stevens, and other guys who a few decades ago wanted America's secession. Fantastic. All I needed was secessionist nostalgia. Bottles of whiskey and gin, and not the best on the market. Ketchup, napkins, and various condiments. Everything that you need to give flavor to the swill they serve in this place. By looking at the cables, I'd say that it must be the electric panel. I'm in the middle of nowhere with a stolen car and a girl that I don't even know. What a great situation. A metal ashtray. A metal... That could be helpful. I don't have any idea what I could do with it, but I'll take it anyway. It's the kitchen door. Considering the level of cleanliness in the rest of this joint, it's better that it stays closed. Better not. If I get near that door, that yokel owner might shoot me. I'd better be careful around here. I bet that if I looked up the word yokel in the dictionary, I'd find a photograph of this guy.
What do you want, stranger?
Is this your place?
Yes, and the rifle I keep in my hands as well.
I see that there's a warm welcome in this house.
My friend, this place sees mostly farmers and truck drivers, and I don't like you, your little friend, and that guy who came in a while ago.
I'm just passing through.
I hope it. City slickers don't do well here.
I have to go.
Okay.
A Confederate flag. I hate Confederates. There are booze signs, but I don't recognize any of the brands. Open 24 hours a day. I guess that's the only reason to go to a place like this. $10 for a gallon of gas and 8 for one of kerosene. Only in the countryside can you still find kerosene stations. Nowadays it's only tractors that still use that type of fuel. The sign in front of the station says gas. The sign in front of the station says kerosene. One of the gas pumps is leaking. The pail is used to catch the leaking gas. It's a sort of photographic set. There are some wires running under the platform. This stuff probably needs to be plugged in. There are some wires. It doesn't work. I don't think it's plugged in. It's a rain tank. A cornfield. It's in bad shape. Most of the plants are dry or rotten. I'll take a few kernels of corn. I took the only kernels that aren't rotten. It's the car I used to get here. Considering who I stole it from, I don't think it'll be reported as stolen. Essex County, New Jersey. I've come a long way. An oil lamp. The glass cover is missing. That makes this lamp practically useless. It's the wick. It's a terrible idea. It won't light up. It must be out of fuel. The gas cap. The tank's empty. One of the gas pumps is leaking. The pail is used to catch the leaking gas. What should I use with it? Even if there's only a few drops of kerosene, it should be enough to make the lamp work. Now it should light up without problems. Better put the pail back in case I need more kerosene. The glass cover is missing. That makes this lamp practically useless.
You again, stranger?
Is that cornfield back there yours?
Did the Winchester send you?
No one sends me. Who are the Winchesters?
Sons of bitches who bought the farm back there a few months ago.
You don't seem to like them that much.
They're good for nothing. You just have to look at how they keep their farm. The only thing they know how to do is drink and smoke on the porch.
And why should they send someone to ask questions?
Because the other night I shot one of them in the ass. Those bastards, after dusk, they come to the back of my gas pump and they start playing with their guns. They shoot at whatever they see. I warned them that even if one of those bullets touch my pumps, the whole place is gonna blow up, but they didn't listen. So the other night, as soon as I heard them shooting, I went out and I shot one of them in the ass. And that idiot ran away yelling like a little girl.
Good story.
Stranger, this isn't a big city. This is how we take care of things around here. And the same goes for you. Give me crap and I'll turn your city ass into a calendar.
Just point your gun at me once and I'll show you the difference between your old piece and my revolver.
Huh.
How does this camera out here work?
What do you want to know?
When I'm not talking to yokels, I dabble in photography.
Huh.
So, does that thing outside work or not?
No, I only use it when the Bunyan Derby goes by.
Bunyan Derby? What the hell is that?
Every March the 3rd, a marathon comes by from Los Angeles. About 200 idiots for 3 months trudge along Route 66 to New York. When they go by, they all want a photograph to remember their achievement. So I bought that thing there.
I need to take a photograph.
This is a gas station, not a photographer's lab. You need a photograph? Do like everyone else does and go see old Elliot in town. That old half-wit'll be more than happy to have a new customer.
I need it now.
And that's your problem, stranger.
I have to go.
Okay.
It fits perfectly. A makeshift cooking range. This idea is so crazy that it might just work.
Damn, Winchesters, here we go again. The lesson from the last time clearly wasn't enough. Hey, you! I know you're hiding in the cornfields. Get out here if you have any guts, you sons of bitches. I'll show you.
Now that the yokel's gone, there's nothing stopping me from using this panel. The photographic set works now. Good. Now that it works, let's see if I can make it as a photographer. I take the photograph and cut it somehow. Before attaching the documents, I hesitate for a second. From now on, my name is John Fard. Sean McLean doesn't exist anymore. Sean McLean is dead. Then I make up my mind and I attach the damn photo. I don't have time to get all misty-eyed now. The documents should be fine now. I can finally get away from this place. It's time to go. The car's headlights slice through the dark desolation of Essex County. I look for some landmarks to make the trip less boring, but I can't find anything. There's just darkness around me, and the car whizzes by in the middle of the road.
I'm sorry for the harsh wake-up, Del Nero, but Oscar and good manners never went hand in hand.
I kind of figured that out.
You must understand him. He's been out of the boxing world for too long. When he got diagnosed with a form of mutism, he was competing for the state's heavyweight title. Unfortunately, a rule doesn't allow people with his kind of problems to fight. So he had to continue in illegal joints. People there don't care much about rules. What they really care about is a good show. The first time I saw him fight, I immediately understood that that shabby ring under the stairs of a butcher shop wasn't the place for him. So I took him with me.
From beating people up to killing them. That's a big career move, I'd say.
Come on, Del Nero. We aren't an organization of killers. We follow an ideal.
What ideals? You're just criminals in search of power.
But power is an ideal, Del Nero. Our entire history was shaped by men who did great things in search of power. Do you really think that people like Julius Caesar or Napoleon did what they did for the sake of their people? Man was born to have power, and his entire existence is an expression of this desire. We study to get important jobs. We train to become stronger. We work at companies where we can move up the ladder. All this to have power.
I bet that you spend hours in front of the mirror repeating this little speech.
Del Nero, I just want you to see our reasons, and maybe avoid you ending up like that pathetic excuse for a man, Malone.
Go to hell, you and your reasons.
As you wish, Del Nero. I thought you were smarter, but if you don't plan on telling us anything if we use the carrot... Where is the girl? Why are you persisting in protecting a girl that has been entrusted to you by a man who's betrayed you in the past?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Del Nero, do you really want to die like your pal McLean?
Better than living as a bastard like you guys.
Del Nero, where's the girl?
I don't have any girls with me.
You're making me tired. I'm not going to ask you a second time. Where have you hid the girl?
Oh.
What is it, cat got your tongue? When Oscar's done with you, that won't be a problem anymore.
Edward, knock it off.
This voice. I know this voice. It's Victoria. What the hell is she doing here?
Now that the Good Samaritan has arrived, we're all here.
Edward, you're disgusting. When this story is over, you'll answer directly to the bosses for your conduct.
Victoria. How is it possible that she is mixed up in this story? It's impossible.
This disgusting behavior is the only way to get your little friend to talk. It looks like he's having fun playing the tough guy.
I told you that you wouldn't have gotten anything from him.
So how do you plan to figure out where he hid the girl?
Using a little intelligence and civility.
Are you going to get him to tell you where he hid the girl just by asking pretty please?
We don't need him to tell us.
What do you mean?
If, before you started leaning on him, you'd look in his pockets, you'd have figured out where the girl is.
You know where she is?
On the Lower East Side, in a small pub owned by a certain Greta Reed.
Greta Reed?
Dannazione. Greta's handkerchief. They must have figured out from that where the girl is. Greta's in danger. I have to do something, but I can't even talk. That beast has gone to town on me.
Jack, can you hear me? I'm sorry about everything that's happened. I didn't want to put you in the middle of all this, but I didn't have a choice. That girl is too important to us. She has to go back to where she came from.
Victoria, how could you?
I'm sorry, Jack. I'd like to explain it all to you, but there is no time. As soon as we get out of the city, you and your friend will be freed, but don't try to follow us. I'm sorry things went this way. Goodbye, Jack.
Victoria.
Edward, you and your ape can come with me. We have to load the cars. The plane is waiting for us. Hurry up.
Plane? What plane? Victoria, where are you taking the girl?
Del Nero, it looks like you got lucky this time. Your friend saved you just in time. But the next time we meet, I can't guarantee you'll be so lucky.
Edward!
Don't worry, Good Samaritan. I won't do anything to him.
Hurry up. We don't have time.
It looks like we'll have to go now, Del Nero. Let Oscar say his goodbyes.
Ah, my head. I must have passed out for a while. Judging from the light filtering through the windows, it must be at least 6 a.m. Out there, the sun's rising. Some thugs with a love for archaeology are running away with a girl, and I'm stuck here, tied to a chair with a nose that looks like mush. I better figure out how to free myself. It's a steam engine. This steel beast must have some part in the alcohol distillation process. It's the distillation system. Sooner or later, I'll buy one for my office. There are some controls in here. It's a steam engine. This steel beast must have some part in the alcohol distillation process. That spinning wheel should be good enough to cut the tape that's keeping my hands tied. Good. I managed to cut the tape that was tying my hands. Now I just have to figure out how to get out of here. Dannazione, my nose. It started to bleed again. If I don't want to pass out like a little girl, I better fix my nose as soon as possible. Greta's handkerchief. If I hadn't had it with me, they would have never found out about her. That ogre would have probably beaten me to a pulp, but at least the girl would have been safe. Given the situation, I don't think that Greta will be offended if I use her handkerchief to stop the bleeding. First, I need to disinfect it and find a way to keep it on my nose. Considering that they are mobsters, they were pretty nice. Before beating me up, they were kind enough to put all my personal effects in this box. The gun isn't there. At least they left the most important thing. A drop of rye was just what I needed. It helped with my aching nose. But I still have to try to fix myself up as soon as possible. I won't get too far in this condition. Greta's handkerchief. If I hadn't had it with me, they would have never found out about her. That ogre would have probably beaten me to a pulp, but at least the girl would have been safe. Sean's rye will work perfectly as a disinfectant. Tape will be perfect to keep the bandage on my nose. It's Greta's handkerchief. Yes, that should work now. Now it's better, but I doubt that the bandage will hold for long. I must get out of here as soon as possible. Hey, is anybody there?
Hey, investigator! You in here?
John, is that you?
Who you want? Certainly, I torn.
How the hell did you get here?
I look for you in Ellis Island, but you disappear. So I go back to your friend in club.
You went to see Greta?
Yes, your friend with the red hairs. But when I get to joint, I see her and girl get in car with same guy I see in port.
Dannazione. They already got them.
I decide to follow the car here, but they stay no long. Man from the port met a woman and two guys. They talked something about ferry that was waiting, and they left.
Do you know where they went?
I don't know. They left half an hour ago.
Where are we?
Oh, but you in my town. Chinatown!
Can you find a way to get me out of here?
No, only entrance is this shutter. I can no open.
I'm going to go back to figuring out a way to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm sure that whoever set up this distillery also put in an emergency exit, just in case the police came. Pretty strange thing to find in an illegal distillery. I was sure that there was some kind of a secret passage in here. Part of this panel is burned. The humidity must have caused a short circuit. Of the many advices my mother gave me when I was little, I definitely remember the one in which she told me never to put my fingers in a socket. I think I'll continue to follow that advice. The dark green color of that water makes me think that it isn't drinkable. Rusted hooks and ropes that have seen better days. I'll take one of the ropes. I took a couple. They could come in handy. It's so dark in here I can't even see the back of my hand. Welcome on board, ladies and gentlemen. The panoramic tour of the sewers of New York is about to start. Fantastic. I wander around the sewers of New York only to find out that the only way to get out of here is a staircase that is impossible to reach. It looks like some sort of floating bridge. One of the barrels that makes it float seems to have come undone. Pretty hard to use a floating bridge when you don't have anything to let it float on. Moreover, one of the barrels is unhooked. Collection Basin 28. According to what's written here, this basin is used to collect excess rainwater. If the pressure in the pipes becomes too high, then the water is deviated into this basin. It's the gauge that tells you the pressure inside the pipe. Now it's at the minimum. It looks like the piping starts from here. It looks like the piping starts from here. It looks like some sort of floating bridge. One of the barrels that makes it float seems to have come undone. Yes, I think the rope is long enough to attach the barrel to the bridge. It seems to work. I even have part of the rope left. It should work. Red lanterns. During Chinese New Year, Chinatown is overrun by these colorful objects. That crazy Chinese cab driver. He got here following the guys who kidnapped the girl in Greta.
Wow. You able to get out? You like magician that disappear from stage, and then we appear behind you.
Right. When this is all over, I'll try to find a job with the circus.
What you want to do now? You don't think I better call police?
Given how things are unfolding, I'd say that the police wouldn't help much. Where's your cab?
Cab parked 2 blocks from here. I was afraid the man from port would recognize it, so hid an alley.
That's the first good idea today.
I always full of good idea.
Sure. Do you know where the car with the girl is headed?
No, when I arrive, I hear only that man from port and woman talk about ferry today.
A ferry. Maybe I know where the car with the girl is headed.
Where?
While I was being used as a punching bag, I heard Victoria say something about a plane she had to catch. They definitely won't be leaving from the main airport. No matter how many connections they have in New York, a girl can't get on board without someone asking questions. So they must have picked a much more discreet airport. And I'm sure that the ferry that you heard them talking about is the same one I found the ad for in Victoria's office. So they're headed to Glen Cove.
Wow. You good as investigator.
Not good enough. Even if I know that they're going to Glen Cove, I don't have any idea which airport they went to. If I only had a map.
I have map.
You have a map with you?
Certainly, I drive cab. Without map, I don't get nowhere.
John, I'm starting to think that you're not as useless as I thought.
You always have something nice to say, huh?
Give me the map.
Here.
I don't see anything here. Here it is. MacArthur Airport. There aren't any other airports for miles. This is definitely where they're headed. If I take the Northern Boulevard, I should get there in less than 2 hours. Considering the time it takes with the ferry, they must still be traveling. John.
You know where girl is?
Maybe, but I need you to do me a favor.
I think this me not like.
I need you to call a certain Violetta Moore and ask him to go to the museum in Central Park.
We no get girl and friend?
Yes, but I'll go alone.
And how you plan to go?
With your cab.
You want me? Give my cab to you?
Yes, you can't come where I have to go. You'd only get in my way.
Not a question. I no give you cab.
If I have to, I'll take it by force, so stop jabbering.
Damn it, this is unfair. You had me arrested today. Kidnapped girl, got mixed up in this story, and now you want cab? This is absolutely not fair.
Tomorrow morning, if everything goes well, you'll find it parked on the Lower East Side.
And if not go where?
I'll be dead, and one of the advantages of being dead is not having to apologize to upset cab drivers for their destroyed cabs.
Ah, okay. You take cab, but promise to be careful. Cab only thing I have.
Relax, I'll treat it like it were mine.
I not feel better.
Remember to call Violetta Moore. His number's in the book.
Violetta Moore, Central Park Museum. I remember everything.
Good. It's time to go stop an airplane. The dawn lights up the hills of Glen Cove, while the cab is swallowed up by the shadows of the sequoias that surround the highway. After a mile of twists and turns, a blue sign tells me that I'm close. I leave the cab a quarter of a mile from the airport, hidden among the trees, and go the rest of the way by foot, for safety's sake. Marzetti, I'm coming to even up the score.
Oscar. Have you seen Diaz? If you see her, don't let on that you've seen me. I plan on having a chat with our guest, and I don't want Diaz underfoot. While I entertain myself with the pretty redhead, you stay here and be on call. If you see someone, you know what to do.
A redhead. He was definitely talking about Greta, so they brought her here, too. I have to find a way into the airport, but so long as that ogre Oscar is there, I don't think it'll be easy. It looks like a hurricane went through this room. There's ruined furniture and papers everywhere. This room had to be some sort of information counter. There were registries and embarkation cards on the shelves. If I go any further, Oscar will see me. As long as he's still there, it will be impossible for me to enter the airport. A crowbar, a pretty lucky find. I'll take it. This trinket will definitely come in handy. Those are downspouts. I'll attract Oscar's attention by making some noise with these pipes. If I hide in the room next door, I might be able to catch him by surprise. Dannazione! I need him to get closer. Yes, the light from this flashlight should be enough to attract Oscar's attention. Once he's inside, I shouldn't have any problems hitting him with the crowbar. The light from this flashlight should be enough to attract Oscar's attention. Once he's inside, I shouldn't have any problems hitting him with the crowbar. Good. With this, I have at least evened up the score. What the? My gun! Oscar had it with him. He must have taken it from me in Chinatown. Good. At least I'm not unarmed now. Even passed out, that guy is still dangerous. If he woke up, he'd only need a second to rip off my head with one of his fists. Yes, tying him with these ropes should stop him from causing any damage if he wakes up. Okay, I got the flashlight back, tied up Oscar, and hid him under one of the desks. I hope no one comes looking for him. If they don't see him at the front door, it won't take them long to figure out what happened. I'd say it's better to hurry now that the entrance to the airport is free. I'll bet that Emily is on that plane. If I could just get to it. I have and lose my life. Hangar 1. I hope this place doesn't become my tomb. I'll bet that Emily is on that plane. If I could just get to it. Going in there is the surest way to get a bullet between the eyes. The airport control tower. That's the same guy I saw in my dream, the Turk. His presence here is anything but reassuring. That guy wouldn't think twice about putting a bullet between my eyes if he saw me. This must be the antenna for radio communications. I hear voices behind this door, but I can't figure out what they're saying. It seems like someone's in there.
You're a stinker of a man, Edward.
I don't understand this hostility towards me. I'd like to remind you that most of what you've got because of me.
If you're talking about that sick feeling that I get when I hear your name, yes, that's all because of you.
What a sharp tongue, sweetheart.
Don't call me sweetheart.
Once upon a time, you liked it when I called you that.
Once upon a time, I was just a girl. Too naive to understand what a bastard you are.
So I'm a bastard. You didn't feel that way when I gave you the money to keep that stupid bar for losers open.
You didn't give me that money for free. You used it to buy my youth.
Everything has a price, sweetheart. You just have to figure out what it is.
Even the life of a girl?
To tell the truth, that girl belonged to us well before your detective found her.
She's just a kid. She doesn't belong to anyone.
Don't let appearances fool you. That girl is more dangerous than you can imagine.
How dangerous could a kid be?
I don't know. I'm not interested in these things. I'm just interested in what they might give me for her.
Money. Everything boils down to money for you.
Not this time. There's something more interesting than money.
What?
Sweetheart, you'd do well to keep your nose out of this, or you'll end up like your detective.
Jack? Where is he now?
Don't worry. Your little friend is safe. Not feeling too well, but safe. Even if I can't guarantee that he'll stay that way for long.
You're a bastard, Edward.
Calm down. I don't want to blush with all these compliments. Anyway, my dear little flying Dutch girl, I have some business to take care of now, so have a nice stay in this room. made up just for you.
Coward.
It seems like someone's in there. Greta! Greta!
Jack! How did you get here?
Long story. We don't have time now. I have to find Emily before the plane takes off.
Emily?
Yes, that's the girl's name.
How do you know that?
You won't believe me, but it came to me in a dream.
What are you planning to do?
If I find a way to distract them, I can get Emily without anyone seeing. When they find out what happened, we'll be far away.
And how are you planning to leave this place?
John's cab is parked about a half mile from here, but I need your help.
I won't be of much help locked up in this place.
Don't worry, I'll find a way to get you out.
Okay.
I'm going.
Jack.
What?
I guess you heard the conversation between me and Marcetti.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I should have told you.
Greta, there's nothing to explain.
I know, but...
Greta, we don't have time now. We have to get Emily off that damn airplane.
You're right.
Greta is behind this door. I have to get her out of there. Yes, I just have to be careful not to make too much noise.
Jack, the thing with Marcetti was a long time ago. I was one of the many dancers that worked at his joints in Little Italy. We shared a few words every so often, but nothing more. Then one day, my old man got sick. This strange disease he picked up during the war that seemed to have been dormant until then. With the money I was making, I was barely managing to pay for the treatments that he needed, but his joint was losing money. So I asked Edward for help. The money I needed was nothing for him. He gave it to me without any problems. But I had no idea about what would have happened afterwards. I became his property. My life was his. I never said anything to my old man. Proud as he was, he would have killed himself rather than see his daughter in that situation. But he died a few years later when his disease got worse. I left my career as a dancer and I focused on the red tulip, the thing my father loved the most. Edward didn't call me anymore. He'd probably bought a younger woman and wasn't interested in me anymore. I was free, but I had no reason to be happy.
Greta, we all have things that we do in our lives that we aren't proud of. You don't need to explain yourself. Certainly not to me. I'm just one of the many losers that come into your joint to ruin his liver.
Jack, you know how I feel about you.
Women and gambling. If you think you know anything about either, it won't be long before you step in it.
Just this once, can you set your cynicism aside?
It's not cynicism, kid. It's just my way to survive.
Jack. Jack. Jack!
McLean, we're here.
Good.
Nicholas said that the professor is hidden inside the museum, top floor, room 13. The back door was left open. You shouldn't have any problems, but keep your eyes well open anyway.
I'll keep that in mind.
We'll be waiting for you here.
I won't be long. According to the information, I should have found this door open, but it's locked. Well, I don't want to waste time with locked doors. I'll just open it my way. professor's office is in room 13, top floor. I should be able to figure out how to get there. It was more difficult than I thought, but here I am. This is where Professor Zindler is. A water tank. What the hell is a water tank doing in a museum? I don't have time to tour the museum. This chandelier is definitely too showy for my tastes. It's Professor Zindler's office. When I enter in the office, I find the professor. "You finally made it," he says. "You're finally here. I know everything from this recording. Are you the man who's supposed to save us?" The answer is simple. No. Find the professor, kill him, and get back what he took from us. These are the orders. Black Lily's orders. Get back what he took from us. I think about documents, cash, or some strange object, but not this. A girl? I have to kidnap a kid? She's Emily's age, my sister's age when she disappeared, and I couldn't protect her. A couple of voices, I guess what's left of me conscience, start to fight in me head. A girl. I can't give a girl to Black Lily. The voices win. I take the girl and I head straight for the entrance, taking a different way. I wasted some time and the Turk will be suspicious. He might come in the museum. I'm not wrong.
McLean is taking too long. Something is not right. Oscar, you keep guard here. I'm going to check whether everything is going as planned.
Damn it, the Turk got suspicious of me taking so long. It'll take him a while to figure out what happened. Better use this opportunity to get out of here. Good. Now I just have to figure out how to get as far away as possible from here. That's the car I used to get here, together with Oscar and the Turk. They left the car unlocked. I'll just borrow it. Run away, Sean. Run away as far as possible. You've done some pretty dumb things in your life, but this beats them all. Standing up to Black Lily to protect a girl? It's this type of sentimentality that'll get you killed. But maybe it's better that way. A man once told me it's not how you live, but how you die that says who you are. And I don't want to die a murderer.
Jack, you've finally come to.
Dannazione. That's the second time I've ended up on the floor today. I should start taking boxing lessons. It seems to be all the rage right now.
What are we going to do now? We're trapped.
And the plane will leave soon. We need to get out of here.
Jack?
Victoria?
Yeah, it's me. You should have followed my advice and never left that storeroom.
I have a hard time following the advice of someone who first ties me up and then uses me as a punching bag.
You know that wasn't my idea. Right from the beginning, I tried to make sure you wouldn't get involved.
When this is all over, remind me to give you a box of chocolates as a thank you.
Jack, I know all this seems wrong to you.
Wrong? Betting money on a lame horse is wrong. Kidnapping a girl to sacrifice her to some phantom divinity is crazy.
Jack, neither of us can stop the destiny of this girl.
Destiny? Destiny? You keep repeating this word, as if in the name of destiny you could commit the most atrocious crimes.
As hard as it might be to believe, I'd like to let that girl go too. She's certainly not responsible for this situation. But it's our duty to make sure that she fulfills the purpose for which she was born.
The purpose for which she was born? And since when does Black Lily help girls fulfill their destiny?
Black Lily? Do you really think I work for Black Lily, Jack?
No? So what is it? A special partnership? A part-time job to round out your salary?
Jack, Black Lily is just a pawn we use to get the girl here in New York. It's them working for us.
And who is this us?
The less you know, Jack, the better it is for you.
Victoria, who's behind this?
I'm sorry, Jack. Maybe one day we'll meet again and I'll tell you everything. But I have to go now. I have a plane to catch. I gave specific orders that you and your friend be released after I leave. But don't try to follow us. It'd be pointless.
Victoria, wait.
Goodbye, Jack.
Victoria!
This whole thing is ridiculous.
I don't care if it's ridiculous or not. That girl is not leaving this airport. I'll stop her, even if it's the last thing I do. From the signs on these tanks, there must be liquid propane gas in them. And what should I use them with? Yes, it could work. And now let's get out of here. Greta, take cover. Greta, I have to stop that plane from leaving.
What are you going to do?
I don't know yet. You get the car. It's hidden in the trees near the entrance. The keys are on the dash.
Okay.
Keep the engine running. We need to leave as soon as I get the girl.
Jack,
Yes?
be careful.
There's no time to be careful. Not this time. Greta, go. Dannazione. It's too late.
It looks like you're too late, Del Nero.
What are you doing here? Why aren't you on that plane?
I hate traveling. I'm not the kind of guy who crosses the desert on a camel. I prefer the comfort of the big city. Moreover, had I left, I would have missed the chance to deal with you. You made me look ridiculous in the eyes of the organization, and I don't have any intention of letting you get away with it.
And what do you want to do? Kill me? I can see it on your face that you've never shot anyone. You're not that kind of guy. You send your men to do your dirty work.
You're right. I've never shot anyone, even though many men and women died because I ordered it.
How brave.
But you know, there's a first time for everything.
I'm dead. There is nothing else I can do. Emily, Greta, I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. It's over. I'm dead. Emily, Greta, I'm sorry that I couldn't protect you. I let myself get knocked off by the first idiot that came around. Tomorrow, I'll be one of the many names that fill the newspaper's crime report. Or maybe not even that. Maybe they'll just throw my body in the East River, or in some dump. No one will realize I'm gone. Except for that stingy Slavonsky when he'll come to collect the rent. Nice life. Who knows what kind of place this is? I only see strange white lights in front of me. Is this heaven? Let's not kid ourselves. Heaven isn't the place for a washed-up detective with a drinking problem. It's got to be hell. At least I'll see a lot of my old friends. I thought hell would be different. You know? Fire, flames, strange creatures with horns. There's just water here. Water and strange hanging wires. A huge clock suspended in midair. I know I should be surprised, but I doubt this is the strangest thing I'll see in this place. It seems to have stopped. It seems to have stopped. A pub in the middle of hell. I'm starting to like this place. Nice name for a cafe. I hope they give drinks on the house, because I left my wallet in my other life. There's a guy at the bar.
Jack, it's been ages.
Sean?
Right. Haven't seen you for a while.
What is this place?
This is no place, and is nowhere.
Am I dead?
Yes, Jack, you're dead. Like me.
Well, if this is hell, it isn't too bad.
True. The booze is free, and you don't have to worry about your liver. You're already dead. I'm sure you have a few questions for me. Ask what you want, but I'm warning you, we don't have much time.
I didn't think that time would be a problem here.
It counts more than you can imagine. Come on, Jack, ask what you want to know.
Why did you lie at Valenti's trial?
I thought you'd ask me that.
I spent a year in the clink for that. I think you owe me.
You're right. The answer is simple, the most obvious one, money.
You sold out for money?
Right. A police's salary wasn't enough to pay me old man's debts. He loved to play them horses, and he was in deep with the Valenti family. That good for nothing. He was a bad father and an even worse gambler. He bet it all on the horses and never won once. We were at the track the day me sister disappeared. Too focused on watching that damned horse that no one would have placed a buck on to realize that his daughter wasn't there anymore. My old man. A man that the world would have been better off without. He racked up so many debts that I would have needed 2 lives to get the money together, and Valenti knew it. That's why he offered me a solution to the whole problem. Both his kids had been arrested for booze trafficking. The judge gave them a year in the slammer each. But those 2 brats, spoiled by their mob father, wouldn't have lasted a week in prison. Valenti's idea was simple. I was supposed to get his kids out of this mess by saying that I was the one who committed their crimes. I would have been discharged from the police, and I would have served their sentence. In exchange, me old man's debts would have been like they'd never happened. But I didn't know your name would come up at the trial, Jack. You were supposed to be left out of this whole mess.
Why haven't you ever told me this story?
The week after the trial, me old man died. According to the police, some crazy guy put a bullet in his back during a bar fight. Funny coincidence, especially considering that the day before, a guy tried to stab me in Harlem for no reason. Arturo Valenti wanted me dead. His kids were free. He got what he wanted, and killing me was the easiest way to cover his tracks. Had I told you this story, he would have tried to kill you too. I decided to leave New York and move to Los Angeles, thinking that I could leave everything behind me. But you can't forget your past. No one wanted a corrupt ex-police officer underfoot. It was impossible to find a job. Until one day, when some fat guy comes up to me in a bar and offers me a job, I'd have to kill a guy who was in Los Angeles on business.
A guy comes out of nowhere and offers you a job as a hitman. What kind of story is this?
I thought the same thing. The fat guy showed me a photograph of the future victim, sure that I'd accept. And he was right. I did. The guy in the photograph was Arturo Valente. Because of him, I didn't have a family or a job anymore, and the only thing I had left was a thirst for revenge that only an Irishman can understand. I did the job, and so I started working for Black Lily. Good story, huh? Maybe I'll write a book about it one day. I wonder if there are any publishers around here.
Maybe I'll ask around. What am I doing here?
You're trying to understand.
Understand what?
What destiny is.
Destiny? I'm just a private detective who spends half of what he makes on booze, and the other half to pay the rent for an office that looks like a dump. What destiny do you think I might have?
I'm not talking about your destiny, Jack, but the girl's.
She's just a little girl, kidnapped by a wacky archaeologist from who knows where.
So, you really think that Professor Zindler was nuts? You think that those dreams you had were due to exhaustion? That it was only a series of coincidences that brought you here? A coincidence that your friend with the red hair knew Marcetti? A coincidence that the owner of the dive you live in is the same guy who hosted Nicholas? Jack, that girl can change the future.
If she could really do what you say, don't you think she'd have done something to avoid all this?
I don't know how it works. I kill people. I don't study ancient prophecies. But I do know one thing. If you're here, you've been given a chance.
What are you talking about?
Coming here, you must have seen some sort of floating clock.
Yes, too peculiar not to notice it.
That's your life, Jack. And if you're here, the hands have stopped. But you can go back.
You mean I can be resuscitated? I'll be walking around New York like one of those zombies from horror novels?
It doesn't work like that. When you go back, you won't remember this place, and you'll do the same things you already did.
Great. I can't live, but I can die as often as I want.
Right. Or maybe something could change. Destiny could give you a second chance.
How?
You won't know until you try.
Goodbye, Sean.
Goodbye, Jack.
It seems to have stopped. It seems to have stopped. And what do you want to do? Kill me? I can see it on your face that you've never shot anyone. You're not that kind of guy. You send your men to do your dirty work.
You're right. I've never shot anyone, even though many men and women died because I ordered it.
How brave.
But you know, there's a first time for everything. It was destiny, Del Nero.
How is it possible that I'm still alive? Sean's bottle of rye stopped the bullet. Who would have thought? Saved by a movie cliché. Sean, it looks like I owe you my life.
You're a lucky guy.
You're the one they call the Turk.
And you're the detective they're all talking about.
Are you here to avenge the death of your friend, Marzetti?
My friend Marzetti? I hope you're joking. I wanted him dead more than you did. I never liked him. The way he treats women is awful, and his joints are as disgusting as the people who go there.
So what do you want from me?
You're more important than you believe. And I need you for my plans.
What plans?
I don't have to tell you.
What makes you think I'll go along with your plans?
I'll take you to the girl.
Why would you do that?
Let's say I have an interest in throwing a monkey wrench in Miss Diaz's plans.
I see.
So what do you want to do? Are you coming with me?
When are we leaving?
As soon as my man convinces your red-headed friend to come with us.
What does Greta have to do with all this?
You're all involved. Even the most insignificant extra can change the plot of a whole film, De Niro. And I don't want that to happen. I'm a perfectionist.
I've already seen your perfectionism in action.
You'll have time to complain later on, De Niro. We have a plane to catch now. Haha, I hope you don't have problems with the heat, because where we're going, they say the sun could kill you.
Traveling with you? I think the sun is going to be the least of my problems.
I'm starting to understand why Miss Diaz is so fond of you. I've known you for 5 minutes, and I like you already.
I hope you aren't upset that the feeling isn't mutual.
Del Nero, forget everything that you think you know about this story. You don't know anything. You've never seen the dark face of a god.
The sun is already high when we take off. The plane flies into the sun, and the enormous ball of fire envelops the plane until every bit of its metal fuselage disappears. For a moment, I think that that's exactly where we're headed, going to challenge the sun, immense and unreachable, considered a god since ancient times. But before takeoff, I glanced at the flight plan, and I found out that our destination is slightly closer. The city of Damascus, Syria, that's where we're headed.